Have you ever been stuck in traffic, crawling along for miles, only to find out there was no actual crash blocking your lane? You finally pass the scene, and all you see is a car on the shoulder and a bunch of people slowing down to stare. That rubbernecking, or as some people call it, especially from Southern California, like myself, looky-loo behavior, or spectator slowing, or just plain gawking, is when drivers dramatically slow down to look at something happening on or near the road. It doesn't matter if it's a crash, a stalled car, or even a routine traffic stop. The moment there's something to see, drivers instinctively hit the brakes. And here's the kicker. Most of the time, whatever they're looking at isn't even blocking traffic. It's not important whatsoever. But as each driver taps those brakes to take a peek, a ripple effect travels backward through traffic. Remember those phantom jams I talked about in episode 2? This is exactly how they form. One unnecessary slowdown creates a wave of stop-and-go traffic that can stretch for miles. It's especially dangerous on freeways with curves or limited visibility, where that sudden slowdown combined with poor sightlines dramatically increases your risk of rear-end crashes and pileups. So why do we do this to ourselves and everyone else? First, it's basic human curiosity. We're hardwired to pay attention to the unusual. Flashing lights, bent metal, emergency crews moving fast or slow. Our brains crave that information. Second, it's fear-based learning. When we see a crash, part of us thinks that could have been me. We look because we want to understand what happened and reassure ourselves. Third, and let's be honest here, for some people, it's entertainment. They can't resist seeing drama unfold, and some even try to film it. I, of course, think of the O.J. chase in 1994 as case in point of that. But here's what really amplifies the problem. Social behavior. We're heavily influenced by what others do around us. If one car slows, we all slow. It only takes a few people to create that wave stretching for miles behind. The real cost of rubbernecking. The effects are massive, and they go way beyond just wasting your time. According to a 2014 Virginia Tech Transportation Institute study, driver distraction, including rubbernecking, was a factor in nearly 80% of crashes and 65% of near crashes. I wonder how they measure that. When people suddenly slow down to gawk, it greatly increases the crash risk right behind them. And those crashes, AAA says secondary crashes, accidents caused in the backup by the initial incident, account for about 20% of all freeway crashes. And that certainly matches up with my experience as a traffic reporter in Southern California. Many accidents happen because drivers are looking instead of maintaining safe following distances. But it gets worse. Rubbernecking delays emergency response. When drivers block lanes or slow unnecessarily, first responders can't reach the scene quickly. Those seconds can be the difference between life and death. If you travel on the shoulder or in the divider when you're in heavy traffic, I'm talking to you. You need to get out of the way for those emergency vehicles. That's what those lanes are for, not for you. All right, enough of my tangent. Here's something that'll really frustrate you. It doesn't stop at one side of the highway. Often drivers going in the opposite direction slow down too, just out of curiosity. It can double or even triple the traffic impact zone from a single incident. Here's the good news. You can choose not to be part of the problem. Again, a common theme throughout this podcast. Maintain your speed as much as safely possible and stay alert. You should always be ready for sudden braking ahead, but avoid those unnecessary slowdowns. Keep that safe following distance we've talked about in previous episodes. This gives you room to react smoothly and helps prevent chain reaction braking. If you absolutely must glance at whatever's going on, and let's be real, we're all human, do it as briefly as possible. Keep both hands on the wheel and immediately shift your focus back to your own lane. Obviously, or maybe not obviously, don't film or take photos, especially while you're driving. Your main job as a driver is getting yourself and your passengers home safely, not documenting someone else's worst day. If you use a dash cam like I do, then you can just review that footage later when you're safely parked and not while you're moving at highway speeds and having to focus on the road in front of you. And trust the emergency crews. They don't need an audience. They need space and time to work. At the end of the day, rubbernecking is a choice. You can either feed the traffic beast or help starve it. Every second you spend gawking is a second you're not helping traffic flow forward. And in some cases, your distraction might cost someone else their life. Remember what I always say, you can't control other drivers, but you can control yourself. Keep your eyes forward, mind on your mission, and help everyone get home faster and safer. And don't forget to check out our community at drivesmarternow.com. Thanks for joining me in this episode of Mastering the Commute. Eyes forward, mind on the mission, and I'll see you on the road next week.